Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we discussed about what is SQL query, what is HQL query, how to write HQL queries in our application, what is the advantage with the HQL and what is the disadvantage with the HQL. HQL stands for Hibernate Query Language, which is used to implement database independent queries. So we can execute SQL queries as well as HQL queries by using data JPA. That is concept is called custom queries. When you are going for a custom query, we need to write @query annotation. So here, if it is a HQL, directly you can write like this. So that JPA will use dialect class to convert this HQL query into SQL query. But when you are writing native SQL query, you need to represent that it is a native SQL query by using native query is equal to true. If I write like this, if I write this attribute, then JPA will translate this query into SQL by using dialect class, right? So whenever you execute @query, by default, it will consider that as a select query. But if you want to perform some non-select operation, then you need to specify @modifying. Modifying represents it is a non-select query. Then after we are using @transactional annotation. What is the purpose of transactional? For the non-select operations, transaction is required that will be represented by @transactional annotation. Very good. Next one, we are able to perform Crud operations by using data JPA. We can use predefined methods available in the data JPA, or we can go for find by methods also. We can go for custom queries also. So what is the purpose of predefined methods in the data JPA? What we can do by using predefined methods in the data JPA? We can perform both select and non-select operations. We can perform both select and non-select operations. So data JPA provided several predefined methods. Using JPA provided predefined methods. Using JPA provided predefined methods, we can perform both select and non-select operation. Save method to update and insert. Find all to retrieve. Right? Delete method to delete the record. All the CRUD operations we can perform using predefined methods given by data JPA. When you use predefined methods given by data JPA, transaction will be taken care by data JPA. You no need to bother about the transaction. Data JPA will take care of the transaction. And the next one, we can retrieve data from the tables using find by methods. Using find by methods, we can perform select operations. That means if you want to retrieve the data from the table by using non-primary key column, then we can go for this find by methods. When we are going for find by method name will play very important role. Based on the method name only, query construction will happen. So method name should represent find by keyword with the variable name. So based on that, it will prepare the query to retrieve the data from the table. Can I update or delete the record by using find by methods? No, it is only for select operations. That's why transaction is not required when you go for find by methods. Next one, we have other option to perform the operations, that is custom queries. So using custom queries, what we can do? Using custom queries, we can perform both select and non-select operations also. Using custom queries, we can perform both select and non-select operations. Now here, when you are performing for select operation, transaction not required. But if you are performing non-select operation, for non-select operation, transaction required, right? So when you are performing custom query operation, what annotations we are going to use? The first annotation we are going to use @query. The second annotation we are using @modifying, and the third annotation we are using @transactional. So if you are performing custom query execution, if you want to execute your own query by using JPA, you need to check that is a select query or it is a non-select query. If it is only select query, @query is sufficient. If it is a non-select query, modifying annotation required. Along with the modifying, you need to write transaction also, transactional annotation. If you go for predefined methods, transaction not required. And if you go for find by methods, transaction not required. But when you go for custom query with the non-select operation, then transaction required. Are you clear? Good. Fine. So with this, we completed our discussion related to Crud repository in the data JPA. So data JPA is used to develop persistence layer. When the JDBC already available, when the Hibernate is already available, why we are going for data JPA to develop persistence layer? It is providing predefined methods. You no need to write the same logic again and again in the project. We can avoid boilerplate code in the project. As I already explained, now assume that my project is having 1000 DB tables. My project is having 1000 DB tables. When 1000 DB tables are available, I need to create 1000 DAO classes. Every DAO 12 methods. Every DAO 12 methods. 1000 multiplied by 12, how many methods we are going to write? We are going to write 12,000 methods. Every method contains 6 lines of code. Then 12,000 multiplied by 6 lines. So we are going to write 72,000 lines of code only to perform operations with the table. So you imagine the real project scenario. My project is, assume that my project is having 1000 tables in the database. To manage the application data, we are maintaining 1000 tables in the database. For every table, one DAO class is required. So 1000 tables, nothing but 1000 DAO classes are required. Then in every DAO, 12 methods. Save method, save all method, find by ID, find all by ID, find all, exist by ID, count method, delete by ID, delete all by ID, delete all. Like that, there are several methods I need to write to perform CRUD operations with the table. So if I take average 12 methods for every DAO, 1000 into 12, 12,000 methods we need to write only to communicate with the database. Nothing else. Only to communicate with the database, we need to write 12,000 methods. On an average, every method contains 6 lines of code. Load the driver, get the connection, execute query, process the result, close the connection. 6 lines are common in every method. So 12,000 methods multiplied by 6 lines. What it is coming now? As a programmer, we need to write 72,000 lines of code. As a programmer, we need to write 72,000 lines of code. So that means that 72,000 lines of code is a unique code or it is a duplicate. Insert. In 1000 classes, insert method only will be available. In 1000 classes, retrieve the records method will be available. The same code which we are writing in the multiple classes is called duplicate code, or we can call it as a boilerplate code. So we are writing lot of boilerplate code in our classes, right? If you write more lines of code, there is a chance of getting more exceptions. If more lines of code is available, there is a chance of getting more exception. So that's why people are not using JDBC to develop persistence layer. In the JDBC, we need to write each and everything on our own. We need to write each and everything on our own when we go for JDBC. I don't want to do all this coding on my own, because whatever this code is there, 72,000 lines of code, not only for my project, every project requires CRUD operations to communicate with the database. This is a common logic, not specific to any project. It is a common for everyone. In your project, you will communicate with the database, insert, update, delete, retrieve. My project also, insert, update, delete, retrieve. When this logic is common for everybody, why everybody should write this logic in every class? That's why framework came into picture. Framework will provide you common logic. You use that common logic, you focus only on the business logic. So that's where data JPA provided common logics for the programmers to perform DB operations. As part of that common logics, they have given two interfaces for us. If you want to perform CRUD operations with the database, you no need to write any logic. You just use JPA interface and call the methods of the interface. Those are predefined methods. Those methods they have provided in two interfaces. One is called as CRUD repository. Another one is called as JPA repository. One is called CRUD repository. Another one is called JPA repository. Can you tell me what is a CRUD repository? What is the CRUD repository, guys? It is a predefined interface available in the data JPA. What is the purpose of that? Come on, speak out. Open your mouth. What is the purpose of that CRUD repository? It is providing several predefined methods to communicate with the database. How can we use those methods? Create our interface by extending the properties from CRUD repository. Then by using our interface, we can access all the methods of the CRUD repository. Our interface is available. What about implementation? Do I need to provide the implementation or not required? Not required. Then who will provide the implementation for that? JPA will provide the implementation in the runtime. We no need to provide the implementation. JPA will provide the implementation for our interface in the runtime. That is called proxy. Whenever I call context.getBean of my repository interface, I'm getting the implementation object and I am calling all the methods. Can you tell me what are the methods available in the CRUD repository? Save method, save all method, find by ID, find all by ID, find all. Exist by ID, count method, delete by ID, delete all by ID, delete method, delete all, delete all. So total there are 12 methods available in the CRUD repository. Now, if you want to execute those 12 methods, how many lines of code we need to write? If I want to execute those 12 methods, how many lines of code we need to write? Just to create one interface, one line of code. Now, if I have 1000 tables in my project, how many lines of code is required to perform CRUD operations? Just 1000 lines. Just 1000 lines of code that is also creating a interface, not the logic. You just to create the interface and you call the methods. Now see, if you use JDBC, 72,000 lines of code we need to write. If I use the data JPA, 1000 lines of code is sufficient. That is the power of framework. So in the initial classes, we discussed the framework. At that time, you may not get the full picture. What is framework? Why we are going for framework? What is the common logic? How it will provide the common logic? Now, can you tell me what is the framework now? Framework is a semi-developed software which will provide common logics required for several applications. So can you tell some examples for the common logics? Creating the connection pool, communicating with the database, starting the server, starting IOC container, identifying the Spring Bean classes available, dependency injection, Bean lifecycle methods. All these are common logics every project requires. As every project requires the same logic, we no need to write it. Framework is going to provide that. Here, data JPA also one framework, a sub-framework in the Spring. Spring is a big framework. That Spring framework is developed in modular fashion. Spring Core, Spring AOP, JDBC, like this, data JPA. It is providing some repositories to perform database operations. So to perform database operations by using data JPA, there are two interfaces available. One is called Crud repository. Second one is called JPA repository. So now we communicated with the database by using Crud repository interface. There are 12 methods available. Okay. When the Crud repository is already available, why we need to go for JPA repository? What is the extra benefit we will get if we go for JPA repository? That we need to discuss today. Is clear? Good. Now you understand when the JDBC is already available, why we are going for data JPA? Instead of writing 72,000 lines of code, we are writing just 1,000 lines of code. The remaining logic will be taken care by data JPA. So in the data JPA, in 3 ways we can communicate with the tables. One is using predefined methods. Second one using find by methods. Third one by using custom queries. When to go for predefined methods? I don't want to deal with my own queries. I don't want to deal with the transaction. I don't want to write the query. Just I want to execute the method. Go for predefined method for common operations. Insert, update, delete, retrieve. Then you can go for that predefined method. When to go for find by method? When to go for find by methods? If you want to retrieve the data based on non-primary key columns like gender, department, salary, name, city, state, country, if you want to retrieve the data based on non-primary key columns, then go for find by method. Based on the method name, query will be prepared by JPA. You should be very careful when you are writing the method name. That find by method approach only for select operation. Okay. Now, when to go for custom queries? When to go for custom queries? Come on. If you want to execute your own queries, I don't want JPA query, I want to execute my own query, then I will go for custom query. How to represent a custom query? How to represent custom query? @query annotation. Custom queries are divided into how many types? Come on, how many types? 2 types. What are those 2 types? One is SQL. Another one is HQL. What is the difference between SQL and HQL? What is the difference between SQL and HQL? SQL queries are database dependent. HQL queries are database independent. Then how HQL query will execute? How HQL query will execute? HQL query will be translated to SQL. Who will do the translation? Dialect. How many dialect classes available? 30. 30 plus dialect classes are available. SQL is better or HQL is better? SQL is better or HQL is better? Based on the requirement. If you are considering the performance for your application, go for SQL. If you want luxury, easy maintenance of the application, go for HQL. SQL queries are faster than HQL because SQL query will execute with the database directly, but HQL query should be translated to SQL before execution. So maintenance wise, HQL is better. Performance wise, SQL is better. Are you clear? Good. JPA difficult? Are we writing anything in the JPA to feel it is difficult? No. We are just understanding how it is working. We are not doing anything here. We are just creating one interface by extending the properties of Crud repository. One thing that we are doing is entity creation. What is entity? What is entity? The Java class which is mapped to database table is called as entity class. What are the annotations we are using in the entity? @entity, @table, @id, @column. What is @id? What is @id? It will represent primary key column mapped variable. So in the database table, primary key column will be available. In the entity, which variable is mapped to the primary key column, we will use ID. What is @column? What is @column? To map variable name to the column name. If a variable name, column names are same, column not required. What is @table? To map the class name to table name. If a class name and table name are different, then you can map it by using table. If both are same, not required. What is @entity? What is @entity? To represent Java class as a entity class, that is a mandatory annotation. Entity and ID are mandatory. Table and column are optional. Here, if you observe, we are not loading the driver. We are not creating the connection. We are not creating statement. We are not writing the query also. We are not writing the query also. We are not executing that query. Okay. We are not dealing with the transaction. We are not dealing with the result set data. In the JDBC, we will get the result set. Read the data from the result set. Store into Java object. Add the object to the collection. Lot of code we need to write in the JDBC. So that is a burden for the programmer. And that is a common logic for everyone. So to avoid that problem, JPA came into picture. Currently in the market, JPA is trending. People are developing application persistence layer by using data JPA. In the project, some scenarios we will go with plain JDBC where performance is important. Okay, some scenarios we will implement with the data JPA. This data JPA internally communicating with the Hibernate. Hibernate is internally communicating with the JDBC. JDBC communicating with the driver. Driver communicating with the database. Clear? Any questions so far about the data JPA? Anybody facing problems while practicing data JPA? It's not difficult, but it will take some time to digest the content. It will take some time to digest the content. When we are explaining, everything will be easy, right? Because as I told you, whatever the subject I am teaching, it's not one day effort. 10 years we worked in the companies. So different companies, different projects, different technologies. 10 years we worked in the industry. That's why we have that perfection on the subject. Hello, sir. Don't talk. Don't talk. When you are doing the practice, you may feel little difficult. Some people may think, sir, how to remember all these things? Core Java is there, Advanced Java is there, Spring is there, Boot is there, microservice is there. Apart from the tools are there, Cloud is there, front-end Angular, HTML. How to remember all these things? So based on the experience, you will get the maturity. How we are remember. I'm also a human being like you. 10 years back, I'm also like you only. When I came out from the BTech college, I don't know how to write a Java class also. When I completed my BTech, I don't know how to write a simple Java. I don't know what is JVM. I don't know how to write a Java program also. Within 10 years of time, we became a trainer. So that means working experience is very, very, very important. So you can do the course, you can learn the course, you can complete it. But unless you work in the project development, you will not get the confidence. If you work in the company for at least 1 to 2 years, then your maturity will be improved. Then you no need to read the book, you no need to by heart the code. Now I'm teaching 4 technologies. Java, I can teach it Selenium, AWS, DevOps, Angular, Docker, Kubernetes, right? 7 technologies I'm teaching. So will I get the time to read the book? No. Everything is there in the brain. Everything is there in the brain. So I will not refer any book now. It's not required because I no need to read that. I worked with all these technologies in the project. That's why they are in my brain. Everything is there in the brain, nothing in the book. I don't have any books with me. I don't have time to read the books also. Everything is there in the brain. But for you people, remembering all these concepts at this moment is difficult. So once I start the Spring Boot, you will forget about core Java. Once I start the microservice, you will forget about the Spring Boot. So the technologies are increasing. So as you are in the student mindset, you cannot remember these technologies for a long time. If you work with the project, if you use that concept on your own, if you develop the project on your own, then you can remember the concept for a long time, right? So oops concepts are there. You may people forget about the oops after 1 month of time or after 2 weeks of time. But once you use the oops concepts in the project, lifelong you will not forget that. Lifelong you will not forget that. Now I'm using oops in my project from 10 years. Will I forget? No. In another 30 years also, I will not forget about the oops. I will not forget about the collections. I will not forget about the Spring Boot, AWS, DevOps, Angular, all these technologies, because every day we are working with them. That practical knowledge is very important. Theoretical knowledge will be there for 1 week or for 1 month. After that, you will forget that. But if you do that on your own, you need to make your hands dirty in the coding. Every day you need to do the coding, practice, implement the project. So not the project I am discussing in the class. You need to take a challenge. You need to do the project on your own. You take Gmail application, or you take Facebook application, or any hospital application. You log in into that application. You see how the design is available. Or you take a Flipkart application, how the categories are displaying, how mobiles are displaying, how clothes are displaying, how beauty products are displaying. You understand that project. You start doing that project on your own. Okay. So practice means not the example trainer explained in the class. I will explain how to insert the data, how to update the data, how to retrieve the data. If you practice the same example, what is the use? Already you know how to do that. I'm already writing that code in the class in front of you. It is executing, output is coming. If you practice the same thing after the class, there is no benefit. There is no improvement. You need to practice these things. Apart from this, you need to choose one project which is available in the market. Maybe Gmail or IRCTC or Flipkart or Amazon, any hospital project, any bank project, library management, book management, employee management, or else you can take Ashok IT website. You can log in. You can see what all the functionalities there in our website. Okay. So such kind of a project you need to consider. You need to practice developing that kind of project. So I have told you, one person came to our class in the advanced Java from Orissa. He's Orissa candidate. He got the job in Begumpet for 4 lakhs. I think when the advanced Java class is going on, he came to the class also. Do you remember? From Orissa, that Devdutta is name. He has developed a project like a Flipkart. He is attending the classes. He is doing the practice, whatever we discussed in the class. Apart from that, he has taken one e-commerce application. How products will display, how to purchase a product, how to add the product to the cart, how to do the checkout. He developed his own project, which we not discussed in the class. When he attended the interview, he showed that project in the interview. Apart from this course, this is my extra work I have done. I have developed a project like a Flipkart. Not exactly like Flipkart. Payment, credit card, debit card, that will not be available. Just add to cart, buy, order purchased. Just you will get a email, order purchase, payment will not happen, right? Such kind of project he completed. He explained that project in the interview. In the first round only, they selected the candidate. They gave 4 lakhs package for the fresher. And he is BTech 3rd year student or diploma something. His graduation also not completed. He's doing the job from last 1 year. So that is the difference. You need to represent yourself unique than others. Then only you can survive. So in this class, almost 100 people in the online. I don't know why online people are not coming daily. Actually, 200 people should attend for the online. 200 people join for the Spring Boot microservices. Only 100 people coming to the class. Remaining 100 people watching the videos. I don't know what they are doing. So 100 people, 200 people are there in the online, and here 70, around 60 to 70 people should be there for the offline. Total admissions we got 260 to 270 for Spring Boot, but I'm not seeing the full attendance. right? So everybody learning the same concept, everybody will practice the same example, right? Then what is the difference when you compare yourself with others? Tomorrow when you go for the project batch also, I will explain the same project for 300 people. If 300 people attend the interview with the same project, I can't teach a separate project for every student, right? For 300 people, I cannot teach 300 projects. One project I will teach for all the 300 people. Then how do you represent yourself as unique when same batch people come for the same interview? Are you getting my point? So you all attending in Hyderabad. Tomorrow there will be a company who are looking for freshers. 10 people are going for this batch with the same resume, with the same project. You understand the problem? Then what you need to do? What you need to do? I can't give you a separate project for every student. I will give you one project for all the students. So that's why whatever we are discussing in the class, you need to practice that. Along with that, you need to do something special on your own. That something special will make you unique when compared with the others. That something special will make you unique when you compare with the others. What is that something special? You take some project, any project which is, you no need to invent something. You are not a Einstein. We are not in that generation. So we are not getting new ideas. So don't worry about that. Okay. You take some existing project. Maybe for you simple, you take a scenario. There is a gym. How we can maintain gym data in a website. Daily people will come for the enquiries for the gym. How do you maintain that data? The people who are coming for the enquiries, they are taking admission in the gym or not? How many people has taken the admission in this month? How many people came, right? How many admissions are closed? How many admissions are open? How many admissions are lost? Okay, downloading all the enquiries in the Excel sheet, sending an email for all the enquiries at a time. Okay, display the dashboard. How many people walked in to this gym this month? How many people joined? How many people did not join? Why they did not join? You track all that data. You maintain such kind of information in one project. Similarly, institute management. For the institute, online enquiries will come, offline enquiries will come. How do we maintain that data? How do we track that data? How many enquiries come for Java full stack? How many people joined in our institute? How many people did not join in our institute? If they did not join in our institute, where they joined, why they did not choose us, what they feel difficulty here, why they joined for other institute, what is the difference between this institute and other institute. I need to track all that report. As a business owner, every Saturday, I will spend 1 hour to analyze my data for 1 week. This 1 week, how many enquiries we got? How many enquiries closed? Closed means joined, did not join. Why they did not join? What is the reason? What is the concern from the student point of view? Anything we need to change in our business model? These things we need to analyze. To do this analysis, we need a project. We need a software project, right? So receptionist will be available where they will maintain the enquiries data. How do I get that data? How do I download that data? How I will send a WhatsApp message, bulk SMS? How do I send a bulk email? How do I upload the notes for the candidate? How faculty will upload your notes? How student will download that notes? Faculty dashboard, student dashboard, admin dashboard. There is a lot of functionality. Ashok IT website, we spent 6 months of time to develop that project. Lot of functionality is there in the background. Whatever you see in the front end, it is just a dummy screens. But in the background, lot of admin functionality is available. We have automated everything. So if I click one button, I will see the complete report. Last 1 month, how many enquiries we got, how many enrolled, how many lost, why they lost, performance of each employee, how many enquiries they handled, how many they closed. Based on that, my employees will get the incentives also. Salary will be available. Based on the admissions they closed, incentives will be available. Targets will be there for them. So you need to think in that way. So don't think like a student. Always you need to think like a businessman. You want to start one business. If you want to start a business, you need to automate that business. To automate that business, you need a project. What is your business model? What is your idea? Put on the paper. Then start designing the requirement. Then start developing that project on your own. That will make you unique. Your maturity levels will increase. Everybody coming to the class, everybody listening to the class, everybody will practice the same example which I am doing in the class. Then you are same with others. You are not unique. You imagine a scenario. Tomorrow, if a company comes for the institute for the interview, all 100 people will attend the interview, same subject, same material, same interview questions, same project, same resume. What is the chance for you to get selected in that interview? If 100 people are attending, what is the chance? 1%. 100 people are there, everybody will have 1% of chance, because I am all the same trainer for all the 100 people, same example, same concept, same definition, everything is same. That will not make you unique. So you need to make yourself unique to get the job quickly. So how to make yourself as unique? So everybody will have a business model. Everybody, you might have some ideas, right? I want to do this kind of business if I have money. So to do the business, it's not easy. You need to invest some amount of that. You need to invest some amount if you want to start a business. Okay, start planning for that. So I want to start this business, one hotel or one institute or one college or one something, whatever you want to start. From now on, I'm not asking you to start the business. You just get that idea, design a project, develop that project for your business. Keep that project ready. Tomorrow when you get money, then you can start that. If you start developing the project for your business, you will get more ideas. You will understand where is the problem, how to rectify that problem. Able to follow me? So like this, you need to think, man. So you should not think like, okay, I'm going to the class, I'm listening, I'm practicing what sir is explained, I'm sitting in the lab for 10 hours, I'm doing, my record is inserted, successful, record is retrieved, successful. That's not sufficient. That practice is required, but I'm saying that is not sufficient. So I told you, right, when I attended Java class in Amirpet, my class strength is around 700 people at that time in Amirpet. 700 people. In the 700 people, if we go for the interview, same trainer, same subject, same example, same definition, then how we will get uniqueness? In my batch, everybody attended the interview as a fresher. 700 people. I attended interview with the 3.5 years experience. You understand the difference? We need to represent ourselves as unique when we are in the group. Then only you will get the chance. Best example you can take, in Telangana, elections completed. When the Revant Reddy joined in the Congress party? 5 years back. What about Uttam Kumar Reddy, Batti Vikramarka? From last 40 years, they are in the same party. From the last 40 years, they are in the same party. But who became chief minister? Why? Why? Uniqueness. That is the uniqueness. You compare. In the Congress party won the election in the Telangana. So there are so many senior leaders in the Congress party who are working for the party from the last 40 years, from 30 years. They are working for the Congress party. Revant Reddy joined in the Congress party last 5 years. 5 years back he joined. 2017, he resigned for TDP. He joined in the Congress party. Within 5 years, he became the chief minister for the Congress party in Telangana. That is the uniqueness. So he represented himself as a unique than others in the Congress party. So you just imagine that. So same formula applicable for us also when we go for the interview. You know that, right? In the Telangana election recently completed, they declared chief minister also. You just imagine. There are people working for the party from 40 years. They did not get the chief minister post. The person who joined 5 years back in the party became a chief minister. That is the uniqueness. That is how he represented himself to the high command in the Congress. So same thing also, same formula we need to follow. Same formula we need to follow. So if you attend the interview with the same subject we discuss in the class, everybody will go with the same resume, same subject, same definition. If I ask what is Spring Boot, all the 300 people will give the same definition. It is one approach to develop the application with the less configuration. That's it. Common definition. But how do you represent yourself unique? Apart from the class, you need to do something different. You need to develop some different project. Tomorrow when you go for the interview, you can tell them that apart from this training, I have developed one project on my own, which is not covered in the course. So this is the project I have developed. I have analyzed my requirement. I spent 2 months of time to develop this project. If you are able to develop one project on your own, your idea, your requirement, your thought process, your development, if you can do that on your own, definitely they will give you the job with a very, very, very good package. Because company needs the people who are creative. Companies needs the people who are creative. You should be able to do the things on your own. You should be able to do the things on your own. Getting my point? So you understand what I'm saying? So what you need to do from today? What you need to do from today? You need to start thinking. You need to open your brain, create your own business. I'm not asking you to start from tomorrow. Just get some idea, design that, keep on the paper. Everybody will have some dream. You keep your dream on the paper. You start developing a project for your business. Then it will work out. Right? So before starting Ashok IT, I worked for other institute in Amirpet for 8 years as a trainer. The moment when I got the idea, okay, I need to start my own institute. I have designed my project on my own. I started developing the project on my own. Okay, if I start the business, faculties will be available, students will be available, class notes, how faculty will upload the notes to the student. Faculty should have a dashboard. He will upload. Students should have the dashboard to download the notes. How receptionist will manage the enquiries, offline enquiries, online enquiries. How to send an email for all the students at a time. How to send message for all the students at a time. How to update the Zoom link in the portal. Okay. How to track the number of enquiries for that. How to download the data. How to upload the data. How to give the access for the student. How student can pay the payment in our website directly. How to integrate payment gateway in our project. How to display ongoing batches in our project. How to display online training, classroom training. Okay. What are the services available? What are the courses we are offering? How student can see the course details, course fees, course duration, course content. They can access everything from the website. I want to make students enquiries loosely coupled with the staff in the Ashok IT. So every information what student needs is there in the website. So that is how I have that goal to start the institute. Then I have started designing my own business, my own requirement, my own development. So that is how you need to get the ideas. Are you clear? So practice what I am explaining in the class, that is required. Apart from that, some extra effort, extra thinking is required. Smart work is required. Good. The main problem with the Indians is this only. Always we will think about getting the job. We will not think about creating the jobs. Right? Yes or no? You imagine, there are so many software languages are available. Is there any language which is developed by Indians? Is there any language which is developed by Indians? Java, Python, C, any language developed by Indian? No. We are always thinking like a slave. Okay, we need to do the job. But all the languages are invented by foreigners only because they will do the smart work. They are always advanced than Indians. That's why Java, who found this Java? Not Indian. Python, not Indian. C language, not Indian. JavaScript, not Indian. TypeScript, not Indians. So we are always, goal is fixed. I need to learn this. I need to get the job. Monthly 50,000 salary, 1 lakh salary, one house, one wife, one car. That's it. Bas. Good. Motivation we can do a lot, but course will extend. So from today onwards, I want everybody to create one project on your own, guys. Technology can be anything. I don't bother about whether you are using JDBC or data JPA or Spring Boot or micro. Technology is, leave it. Technology you can change at any point of time. Getting the business idea is important. Preparing the requirement document is important. Once you prepare the requirement document, first, if you are comfortable with the JDBC servlets, you can do that. Project implementation, you will improve your coding skill. Once boot course is completed, same requirement you can implement by using Spring Boot. Then you will get more perfection. Don't bother about the technology, because in the industry also, people will be changing multiple technologies in multiple projects also. Don't stick to technology. Always stick to your ideas. You need to get the idea. You need to design that. So you can implement it by using any technology. So if you are comfortable with the JDBC, servlet, JSP, do that. Complete the project. Later point of time, then you will understand what is the real problem with the JDBC, servlet, and JSP. Then tomorrow, same project you can implement by using Spring Boot and microservices. Then easily you can tell what is the difference between JEE and Spring Framework. Nobody need to teach you. You can experience that. If you develop one project with JDBC Servlet JSP, if you develop the same project with Spring Boot microservices, what is the difference? Practically, you will observe that. So that maturity you will get. Then you no need to learn from someone. You can also become a trainer. You can also teach the people. So what is JDBC? What is Spring? Why we are going for Spring? What is the problem with JDBC? What is the advantage with the Spring? So whatever I'm teaching, this all practical experience we learned in the company, not in the institute. When I'm doing the Java course, there is no Spring in the Amirpet, there is no Hibernate, there is no Spring Boot, there is no AWS Cloud, there is no DevOps. Everything I learned in my company. I'm working in the company. They are giving the salary, and we spend extra time to learn the new technologies. And luckily, I got the job in the startup company, all-rounder. They made me all-rounder in the 1.5 years. Everything I need to do on my own. Create the project, write the code, test the code, deploy the code, deliver the code. 12 hours we need to work as a fresher to get more subject. If you get the job in the startup company, you are very lucky, because they will screw you. You need to do everything. But if you go for MNC company, you will not learn anything. In the MNC company, documentation is more than coding. If you write one Java class, you need to prepare 10 pages of document. Why you have written this class? What is there in that class? What methods are there? What is the functionality of that method? Lot of documentation is required in the MNC standards. But in the startup, direct work. Everything you need to do. Fine. KCR has done a lot for the industry. I'm not talking about who is best. I'm not talking KCR is best or Revant Reddy is best. I'm talking how he became the chief minister. That is my point. Banda Babam is disappointed.
Sorry. No, not disappointed. I'm wrong again. I'm
Yeah,
wrong
hi, Ram.
here, Ashok.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. I don't want to involve here, but definitely we know Ravant is, involved some mistakes for,
Sir,
voting out case,
I'm not
something.
talking about that, sir.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But Indian values, I'm sorry for that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. That. I'm not talking about TRS is best or Congress is best. I'm not belongs to this Telangana, first of all.
Of course, even we from Andhra, but right now, yes. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ashok. Yeah.
Yep. Right. Good, sir. Done. Let's come back to data JPA. So we are trying to understand what is a CRUD repository and what is JPA repository. CRUD repository and JPA repository are two predefined interfaces provided by data JPA to perform CRUD operations. Now, so here CRUD repository is available, and JPA repository is available. When you go for JPA repository is equal to CRUD repository plus sorting plus pagination plus QBE. That means whatever the methods that are available in the CRUD repository, same methods we can use in the JPA repository also. Along with those methods in the JPA repository, there are some special functionalities are available. One is sorting, another one is pagination, another one is query by example. So that's why when we are going for data JPA, CRUD repository is available, JPA repository is available, but JPA repository is having more functionalities than CRUD repository. What are those more functionalities? One is sorting, second one is pagination, third one is query by example. Now, if we represent the relation between the CRUD repository and JPA repository, so first here there is one interface called repository interface is available. One interface available called repository interface. Then there is a interface called CRUD repository interface is available. And here there is a interface called paging and sorting interface. Paging and sorting one interface is available in the data JPA. And along with that, there is one interface called QBE, query by example. I don't have space, I'm writing QBE, query by example. And there is one interface called JPA repository is available. JPA repository is available. Now, so these all are the interfaces which are available in the data JPA. Good. Repository interface is available and CRUD repository interface is available. Our CRUD repository interface extending the properties from repository interface. And here paging and sorting interface is available and QBE interface is available and JPA repository interface is available. JPA repository extending the properties from paging and sorting as well as from the QBA, and paging and sorting extending the properties from CRUD repository. So this is the relation between CRUD repository and JPA repository. Repository is one interface. This repository interface, what we have here, this is a marker. What is that? Marker. What is the meaning of a marker? What is the meaning of a marker? Marker interface nothing but there are no methods available. Marker interface nothing but there are no methods available. Now, in the CRUD repository, there are 12 methods available. In the CRUD repository, there are 12 methods available. Now, in the paging and sorting, there are some 6 methods available. Assume that, I'm not sure, just I'm writing some random number. There are 6 methods available. In this QBE, assume that there are 3 methods available. In the JPA repository, assume that there are 12 methods available. Now, which interface will give more functionalities? Which interface will give more functionalities for us? JPA repository will give the more functionalities. Why JPA will give more functionalities? Why JPA will give more functionalities? If you see, indirectly JPA extending the properties from CRUD repository. So super interface methods, sub interface methods. When I go for JPA repository, I can call QBE methods, I can call paging and sorting methods, I can call CRUD repository methods, and there are some special methods available in the JPA also. So that's why when we say JPA repository is equal to CRUD repository, plus sorting plus pagination plus query by example. So you can perform all the CRUD operations by using JPA repository, and you can perform sorting, pagination, query by example. Are you guys clear? What is this sorting? What is pagination? What is query by example? Let us see. First of all, sorting. Okay, sort records in ascending or descending order. I have employees. I want to sort the employees based on the salary in the ascending order or in the descending order. Now, let me take one example of Flipkart. Now here, when I go for the Flipkart, how many mobiles are available? 9,500 mobiles are available. So here if you see, there are some options. Price low to high. When I click on this option, price low to high, what happened? In the ascending order, the mobiles are displaying. Lowest price mobiles first, highest price mobiles last. This is called sorting. So if you want to retrieve the records based on ascending order or descending order, then we will go for sorting. Sorting is used to sort the records based on the requirement. I have employee records. I want to sort the employees based on the salary in the ascending order, or I want to sort the employees based on gender order. Based on the gender, I want to sort. Based on the name, I want to sort. Based on the experience, I want to sort. Based on the department, I want to sort. So such kind of sorting we can perform. All right. Sort the records in ascending or descending order. Next one is pagination. Pagination, nothing but dividing the records into multiple pages. Divide the total number of records into multiple pages. Now, if you see in the Flipkart, total how many mobiles are there? How many mobiles are there? 9,500 mobiles are there in the Flipkart. When I go for mobiles page, are they displaying all the 9,500 mobiles? Are they displaying all the 9,500 mobiles? No. Why? Don't need, not required. If you want to purchase a mobile, will you see all the 9,500 mobiles in the Flipkart? Nobody will do that. You will maximum check 5 or 6 models, then you will place your order. Now, go for Google and search for something in the Google Java interview questions. How many results are available? When you search for something in the Google, those many records are available in the Google database. When you search for Java, have you ever went to Google second page? Have you ever been to Google second page? Guys, have you ever been to Google second page? No, we don't do that. Now, is there any use of retrieving those many records and display in the UI? Unnecessarily, it is burden on the server. Unnecessarily, we are wasting lot of memory. So in the real time also, when you are retrieving the data, we don't retrieve all the records from the table. If I retrieve all the records, if my table contain 1 crore records, retrieve 1 crore records at a time, display 1 crore records in the table, then user will scroll like this. Maybe after 2 hours, he will go to the last record. If I'm displaying 1 crore records on the page, when user can see the last record, after 1 hour scrolling, he will see the last record. So that's why when we are going for project implementation, we are going to follow a concept called pagination. Pagination, nothing but divide records into multiple pages. Divide the records into multiple pages. Same thing we can see in the Flipkart also. Now, there are 9,500 mobiles available in the Flipkart. Out of 9,000, if you scroll down, you can see only 24 mobiles. You can see only 24 mobiles, showing 1 to 24, first 24 records they are displaying in the first page. Like this, there are 396 pages are available. If you are not satisfied with these 24, then click on number 2. Then from 25, next to 24 records they are getting, they are displaying. Okay. If you are not satisfied, go to third page. Okay. So all the records we are not displaying in the single shot. So if you display all the records in the single shot, what is the problem? End project will not look good, right? So if you display all 1 lakh records in the table, it is not recommended. So that's why when we are displaying the data, 1 minute. When we are displaying the data, we are going to divide all the records into multiple pages. The process of dividing all the records into multiple pages is called pagination. Pagination is used to improve user interface. Okay, we are going to improve the user interface of the application by using pagination. If I display 9,000 records at a time, my page will not look good. Okay, so out of 9,000, I'm displaying first 24 in the first page. The remaining records I will display in the second page. So the total number of records will be divided into multiple pages. That concept is called pagination. If you go to Google also, same thing, Java online compiler. So these many records are coming when you go for Java online compiler. Then you are scrolling, then the data is loading. When you are scrolling, then the data is loading. Click on more results, then the data is loading. They are not loading all the data in one shot. When you click on more results, then only they are loading the data. So this is called pagination. Pagination. What is the sorting? What is the pagination? Sorting is used to sort the records in the ascending or descending order. What is the pagination? Dividing all the records into multiple pages is called as pagination. Next one, there is a concept called QBE. QBE stands for query by example. So this query by example is used to construct a query dynamically. It is used to construct the query dynamically. In the advanced Java, I think we developed a program. I can search by using any field. If I give the ID, retrieve the record by using ID. If I don't give the ID, retrieve all the records. So that means based on the user input, our query should be constructed. Based on the user input, our query should be constructed. For that, we are going to use query by example. In the Flipkart, query by example is also available. You see this? Go to this website. Mobiles. How many mobiles are coming now? 9,500. Select the brand as Apple. Okay. Currently, there are 9,500. What is the meaning of that? Select a star from the table. When I select the brand as Apple, then what happened? Select a star from table where brand is equal to Apple. That means query changed or query not changed. Query got changed. Then come back. Select the internal storage 8 GB. Again, filtered. Select a star from mobiles where brand is equal to Apple, where RAM size is equal to some value. So that means if I remove this one, 490 mobiles are coming. If I remove this one, 9,000 that means data is getting filtered. So when you want to implement such a kind of filters, query should be constructed in the runtime. To construct that query in the runtime, we are going to use query by example. So this query by example is used to implement dynamic search operation. User can search with the brand name, or user can search with the RAM. User can search with the price range. User can search with the battery, screen size, based on the rating, like that. So when you have such kind of dynamic search operation, our query should be constructed in the runtime. To create the query in the runtime, we are going to use query by example concept. Are you clear? So these are 3 extra benefits we are going to get when we go for JPA repository. So whatever we can do by using Crud repository, same thing can be done by using JPA also. Along with that, 3 extra functionalities are available. One is sorting. Second one, pagination. Third one, query by example. Pagination, sorting, query by example. Why we need to go for query by example? Why we need to go for query by example? It is used to construct the query in the runtime. Based on the search input, query will be constructed in the runtime. What is the pagination? Divide the records into multiple pages is called pagination. So in the real time, the table may have millions of records, right? The table can contain millions of records. Retrieving all the records, displaying in the UI, not recommended. So that's why we will decide page size and we will get the records. Now, same thing you can see in the Gmail also. Same thing you can see in the Gmail. Have you ever observed Gmail functionality? Correct. When you go for Gmail, by default, how many records are coming? Total how many mails available? 347 mails are available. But in the inbox, there are 347 mails are available in my inbox. But is Gmail displaying all those mails? No. What it is doing? 1 to 50. This is called pagination. When I click on the arrow, then 51 to 100. Next 50 records. When I click on the arrow, 101 to 1. Like this, it is going to display the records based on the pagination. So displaying all the 300 records, they can do it, but it doesn't look good. Unnecessarily, memory will be wasted. So we are going to use pagination in the project's development. Then what is the sorting? Sort the records based on requirement, ascending order or descending order. So if you go for JPA repository, these are the extra benefits we are going to get. If you go for Crud repository, only Crud operations. If you go for JPA repository, sorting, pagination, query by example, along with the Crud operation. Now, which one is recommended? JPA. JPA repository is recommended. By using JPA repository, same 3 methods are there, right? That we can execute predefined methods. So whatever the methods available in the Crud repository, can I use same methods here also? Whatever the methods available in the Crud repository, can I use those methods here also? Yes, we can use those methods here also, right? And by using JPA repository, you can execute find by methods also. By using JPA repository, you can execute custom query. That means whatever we learned in the last 3 days, same thing we can use with the JPA repository as well. Along with that, sorting, query by example, and pagination. Clear? Tomorrow, we will implement sorting, pagination, and query by example in our project. So tomorrow we'll see practicals on the JPA repository. Are you clear? Good. So take this 1 week of time. I want you people to show me what is your project idea. What I told, right? Half an hour motivation. For what? What you need to do? You need to come up with your own ideas. And I'm not asking you to develop that now. You just write down your ideas in the notepad. You just think what you want to do. What is your goal? After 5 years, what you want to become? What kind of business you want to start, right? For that, what project is required? What functionalities are required? You just prepare one document for that. You just write one document. Then once our web MVC started, then you know already Spring Boot now. You know data JPA. Now you are going to learn web MVC in the next week. Once web MVC is completed, then you can start implementing your project with the Spring Boot itself directly. Okay, so that initially you may not be able to do it, but you need to try. If you can complete at least one project on your own, you will get lot of confidence to attend the interviews, right? So don't dependent only on the subject giving by the trainer. This is required to understand the concept. After that, you need to come up with your own ideas, guys. Then only you will survive, because in the market, lot of competition is there. Lot of competition is there. Got it? So from today onwards, do the brainstorming. Brainstorming means open your brain, think different ways to do the project development. Come up with your ideas, keep on the paper. So in your BTech, maybe you have done the project, right? Fourth year academic project will be available. 1,000 rupees if you pay, they will give you everything. If you pay 1,000 rupees to the college management, they will give you project code, project documentation, records, everything. So that is the bad thing in our education system. From engineering first year onwards, you people should start thinking about the project's implementation. So if you do that in the BTech itself or in the degree itself, you no need to come to Amirpet to do the courses. You no need to waste 2 years of time. Our education system is wrong. In the BTech itself, from the first year itself, you need to think like an engineer. You need to think like a businessman. You need to develop the requirements. You need to develop the project on your own. If you do that practice for 4 years, then why to come for Amirpet? Is there any use? No, you need to learn all these skill set at the time of your academic only, and you need to develop the project. You need to learn the technologies then and there itself, not in the Amirpet. 10 years back, what is the mistake I have done? You people also done the same mistake. After college completed, come to Amirpet, spend 1.5 years, learn the course. So we have to change. Educate your juniors. Educate your juniors. From the first year itself, they need to start the learning all these technologies. By third year, they should complete the project. In the fourth year, they need to attend the interviews with their project. They need to get the job before their college completed. This is not good. After college completion, take 2 months rest at home, then come to Amirpet, join some course. After 1 month homesick, go to home, again come back, 1 year do the course. After 1 year, 6 months preparation, 6 months interviews, 3 years will be completed as an unemployee. So the planning should change. So already mistake done. We can't do that. We can't change that now. If you have any brother, sister, any friends, relatives, just guide them. So tell them that in my career, this is the mistake I have done. You should not do the same mistake. You plan it accordingly. You need to educate the people. Got it? Fine. Fine, guys. With this, I'm stopping for today. Tomorrow we'll continue. Tomorrow we will work on JPA repository methods. Thank you. Online students, anybody having any questions? Listen to the questions,
Ashok.
guys. Yeah, hi Ram.
Ashok sir. Ashok sir. Can we discuss at least any 1 weekend about YAML files also? Because they're asking interviews.
YAML file is part of the project, sir. When we are going for WebMVC, I will explain that YAML part.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's only one question. Yeah.
Good. Next one.
Java 8 is starting today, right, sir?
Java 8 futures, yes, sir. It is starting by Mr. Karthik. It's an online batch. So Karthik is my colleague in the Deloitte company. He's my senior. So if you want to learn Java 8, you can attend his class. Today from 9 o'clock, it is starting, I think so.
Yeah.
Let me check the schedule. I forgot it.
Is there any extra charge for that Java 8 feature?
Yes, sir. Java 8 is a separate batch, separate charge. You join the class, he will tell you what is the fee structure for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Karthik is the trainer for that. Yeah. It will be 2 weeks of time only for Java 8.
Okay. And one more question.
Indian time, IST, 9 a.m. IST.
Yeah. IST, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
There is one more question, Ashok sir.
Yes, sir.
So I want to purchase some recorded video in your portal. How can I go for that?
Yeah, please talk to admin team, sir. So in our website, there is a number. You call them, they will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question.
Ashok, you have any course on
Any course?
Azure Cloud?
Azure DevOps. Yes, sir. We have that, but it will start in 2 weeks of time.
Because the
We'll update
companies
you.
are mostly using Azure here now.
Sure. You're in US?
Yeah.
Okay. Which state?
I'm in California.
California. Okay, fine, sir. So I will update in our group when that is starting.
Okay, thank you. So that is also based on Linux, right?
Right. Yeah, anything. If you go for any cloud, it is based on the Linux only.
No, I see there are some institutes teaching using Windows as well.
Okay.
Like
So in
.NET,
our institute, it is Linux based.
Okay. Thanks.
Fine. Offline students, any questions? Huh? Find by ID and get by ID. So find by ID will check whether the record is available or not before giving that. When you go for get by ID, direct object it is going to return, not the optional. Optional class return type is the difference. Yeah. Get by ID method available in the JPA repository. Find by ID available in the Crud repository.
Hello.
हाँ भाई बोलो.
In Hibernate properties, if we use auto validate, then sir, is any difference? Is update and validate?
Yes, sir. Update will create the table. I will talk about that property. I have not explained, just I have used it. Tomorrow I will cover that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you, sir.
one more question I have regarding save all method. It will do bulk transaction, right, sir?
Correct.
If 1-2 transactions are failed while saving, what it
The
will,
remaining record will be inserted.
okay, remaining record will be inserted except the failed one.
Failed one, correct.
So how to handle the failed records?
So you need to write a fallback mechanism, sir. In the microservices, I will explain you. Circuit breaker patterns will be available. When there is a failure, we need to execute some fallback logics for that.
Okay. Only it is only fixed in microservices, or RESTful also we can fix the
We
same?
can. It's a common logic, that generic logic you need to write. When the record is failed, you need to retry that record.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. Good, guys. So I'm giving 1 week of time. All of you come up with your ideas. Whenever you complete your idea on the paper, just come and meet me and just show me what is your idea. So if I have some idea on that, what you are thinking, I can give some suggestions, right? So whatever the ideas you are getting, just keep on the paper. Once your idea finalized, just come and show me so that you can start the development. So that is apart from the classwork. That is the extra project that you need to do on your own apart from the classwork. Whatever we are learning in the class, first you practice that. Daily 1 to 2 hours you spend for your personal project development. So daily for classes 4 hours, morning 1.5 hour, and another 1 week project will start, evening 1.5 hour, 4 hours for my classes. For these 4 hours practice is required. 8 hours only for the class and class practice. After that 2 hours you need to spend for your personal project. Got it? So 10 hours you need to work hard from now onwards. Then you can represent yourself as unique when you go for the interview. So I'm giving 1 week of time. By next week, all of you come up with your ideas and show me. And going forward, we will conduct presentations also. Every student should take one concept, should explain in the class, so that you will understand what is your presentation skill, what is your stage fear. So today I'm talking in front of the people without any fear, right? So tomorrow you should also do the same thing in the company. In the company, your team members will be available. Your manager will be available. Lead will be available. You need to give the presentation to the team members. You need to give the presentation to the client. Presentation skills you need to improve. So going forward on the weekend, we will conduct presentation. Presentation means you should give the presentation. That day you will become the trainer. I will become the student. I will sit there. You need to come here. You need to explain any one topic. You need to explain any one topic. So that will give you a lot of confidence. Presentation skills very, very important for the software engineers. Speaking, communication is very important, right? Writing skills are very important. Email writing, speaking skills are very important because we need to communicate with several people in our job. We need to communicate with several people. You need to know conveying skills, how to convey other person, how to convince other person. That speaking skill is very important. So we will plan presentation classes also, but not now. Once 70% of our syllabus is completed, then we will start that presentation also. So if tomorrow is your presentation, bunk to the class. Don't do that. You have to come and you have to give your presentation. Okay, good. Thank you. We'll continue tomorrow.